Toman, author of NootropicsExpert.com, and in this video I'm going to share with you what I believe to be the best nootropics of 2018, what they are, why we use them, and the science behind each nootropic. Now ask a group of neurohackers which are the best nootropics and you'll get a lot of opinions. But when you drill down to what people are taking every day, you start to see a pattern. Now, many biohackers working on cognitive enhancement distill their brain hacking goals into a few defined categories. Then look for the best nootropics to address each one. And they divide it into categories something like this. The first category, cognition, decision-making, focus, and thinking. In other words, how fast can you think on your feet? Second category is memory. All kinds of memory, short-term memory, long-term memory, working memory. Third category is anxiety and depression. Fourth category is energy and motivation. And the fifth one is brain repair and maintenance, keeping your brain in optimal condition. So those are the 5 categories. Now, I've got my favorite nootropics after 10 years of trial and error, and chances are that, what works for me may work well for you too. And the nootropics I'm talking about here in this video is the stack that I use every day. Now, you'll notice that in the categories that I mentioned earlier, that some of the nootropics work in multiple areas of cognitive enhancement. Now, the obvious benefit is fewer nootropics in a well-rounded stack. And once you dive into the neuroscience behind each nootropic, you'll find synergy on how many of these compounds work together. Now, this extends to smaller doses for each nootropic for a bigger benefit. Brain optimization comes with a lot of experimenting to find out what works best, and trying different compounds and keeping a log of what works and how well it works, and what doesn't work. And it takes a considerable investment as well. Now, naturally, I'm on the lookout for how to save money without cutting any corners. And so once I've narrowed down my stack choices, the search begins for a quality pre-made nootropic stack that'll save me from buying separate tubs of powder and bottles of capsules. Now, fortunately for me, I found the best pre-made nootropic stack, and it covers the bulk of the nootropics that I've selected for my nootropic stack. It's called MindLab Pro. And I'll talk a little bit more about MindLab Pro in a few minutes. This is not an advertisement for MindLab Pro. I'm just going to talk about how I ended up with MindLab Pro after figuring out what this brain needed to take. Now, each of the nootropics that I talk about throughout this video contain links through to the complete and thorough review of each of those nootropics over on the original transcript on Nootropics Expert. So when you go to the transcript, or you click on, you can just go to nootropicsexpert.com and search for it, Best Nootropics 2018, or click on the link below this video and I'll take you to the article. And you can click through to each individual nootropic supplement that I'm just about to talk about. And there you've got a detailed report, much more so than what I talk about in this video, because I've got to keep it brief because there's a few of them, on what the nootropic is, why we use it as a nootropic, how it feels when you take it, the mechanism of action in the brain, the side effects, and the available doses or recommended doses in the types you should buy. Now, you'll also notice that each of the nootropics that I talk about, most of these are contained in MindLab Pro, in the MindLab Pro formula that I use 2 capsules a day. Now, each of these nootropics is generally regarded as safe and non-toxic at recommended doses, but your mileage may vary, and how you respond to each of these compounds depends on a variety of variables, including your genetics, interactions with prescription meds, your current state of health. So, for each of the nootropics that I'm going to talk about briefly here today, please go to the original transcript and click through to that nootropic if you're interested in trying it, and read about the side effects and the drug interactions and any other notes and warnings for each of these. But in general, these are among the safest cognitive enhancers that we know of. and one of the reasons why I've included them in my best nootropics for 2018. Now, if you're a more experienced neurohacker, you might disagree with some of my decisions here, and you're wondering why I'm not talking about some of the more exotic nootropics. The ones that I'm talking about in this video are easy to get, they're readily available, and they're safe for pretty much everybody to use. And first is Alcar, acetyl-L-carnitine. Alcar helps transport fatty acids into mitochondria where they're needed for energy metabolism, fueling your cell's power plants that can boost physical and mental energy. Alcar is a necessary ingredient for acetylcholine formation, which boosts memory, mental alertness, and fluid thought. The antioxidant properties of acetyl-L-carnitine provide neuroprotective qualities. It boosts brain-derived nootropic factor, or BDNF, and it promotes cerebral blood circulation. The second one in my favorites for 2018 is aniracetam. Aniracetam is one of the best nootropics available today. It's well known among experienced nootropic users for reducing anxiety, depression, and fear, and improving sociability. But aniracetam does so much more. It enhances your brain's ability to repair damaged cell membranes. It desensitizes glutamate or AMPA receptors in your brain, which boosts neural signaling by increasing the effectiveness of glutamate, resulting in better focus and concentration. And aniracetam improves memory and recall by releasing 200 to 300% more acetylcholine in the brain, which increases focus and clarity of thought. And the third one in my best for 2018 is Bacopa monnieri. Bacopa is one of the best nootropics for studying. Researchers at Banaras Hindu University in India showed Bacopa as effective for anxiety as the benzodiazepine drug lorazepam. Now, unlike benzodiazepines, Bacopa, it does not cause memory loss, but in fact it boosted cognition. Now, another study done in Portland, Oregon demonstrated that 300 milligrams of Bacopa per day for 12 weeks improved word recall, increased attention, boosted memory, improved focus while learning, and it lowered anxiety and heart rate. And the fourth one on my best for 2018 is CDP choline. Now, this is a valuable addition to any nootropic stack. CDP choline is a multitasker which improves cognition and brain function, it improves focus and motivation, and it reduces fatigue. CDP choline aids in the synthesis of acetylcholine and the release of dopamine. Now, both neurotransmitters are involved in learning and memory. CDP choline also helps in the repair of brain cell membranes. The cytidine in CDP choline converts to uridine in your body, and it works as a bridge between choline and neuron membrane synthesis. Uridine is needed to synthesize phosphatidylcholine, or PC, which is needed to repair damaged neuron membranes. Choline is so vital to cognition and nerve function that without it, we couldn't move, think, sleep, or remember anything. And one of the best ways to provide your brain and body with the choline that it needs is with CDP choline. The fifth one on my list for best nootropics of 2018 is DHA. DHA is an omega-3 fatty acid. DHA is crucial for the healthy structure and function of your brain. Your brain is made up of 60% fat, and much of that fat is DHA. Now, DHA has the ability to turn on brain-derived nootropic factor, or BDNF, which improves neuroplasticity, leading to better learning and memory. And DHA acts as an anti-inflammatory by reducing the enzyme COX-2. Now, if you suffer from chronic depression, within a few weeks of adding DHA to your nootropic stack, you should feel the depression lift. Your cognition will be better. You'll think clearer and quicker. Your memory and ability to learn will improve, and you'll likely have more energy and motivation. But it is very likely that you won't think to attribute these improvements to adding DHA to your stack. Something else will get the credit. And the sixth one on my list for 2018 is lion's mane mushroom. Lion's mane is an ancient Chinese remedy for improving cognitive performance and overall health. In our modern world, lion's mane makes it into some of the top and best nootropic stacks. Why? Because lion's mane stimulates enzyme production that releases nerve growth factor. It stimulates the repair and creation of neurons, or neurogenesis, boosting neurotransmitters and signaling that affects memory, learning, recall, and mood. And lion's mane helps eliminate brain fog, restoring memory and mental alertness. And it lowers anxiety and depression symptoms. You got all that? Lion's mane is a great complement to any nootropic stack, including aniracetam, CDP-choline, and DHA for an immediate cognitive boost. Now, the seventh on my list of best nootropics for 2018 is N-acetyl L-tyrosine, or NALT. NALT produces the catecholamine triad of neurotransmitters dopamine, norepinephrine, and epinephrine. Now, as your dopamine levels increase, you're better able to concentrate, you can organize your thoughts better, and stay productive. NALT can be an effective treatment for ADHD symptoms. NALT works in synergy with pharmaceutical drugs like Ritalin and Adderall by boosting extracellular levels of dopamine, helping these drugs be more effective, and mitigating the side effects like crashes when the drug wears off. NALT improves memory and cognition under acute stress. It helps improve decision-making, flow state, and creativity, cognitive flexibility, and working memory. NALT is a great addition to any nootropic stack, especially if you're dealing with ADHD. And by the way, for more tips on how to deal with ADHD and adult ADD symptoms, please see my post over on Nootropics Expert called Best Nootropics for ADHD. Now, the eighth on my Best Nootropics of 2018 is phosphatidylserine, or PS. Phosphatidylserine is a favorite nootropic because PS helps in the efficient transfer of proteins, enzymes, nutrients, oxygen, and glucose into and out of each cell. PS is involved in the formation and sending of signals within neurons. PS promotes healthy nerve growth factor. PS improves the neurogenesis needed for long-term potentiation. PS is involved in building mitochondria, which are the energy centers of each brain cell. Phosphatidylserine is arguably one of the most effective and important nootropics we have available today. It has a reputation for improving alertness, attention, cognition, memory, recall, and mood. And ninth on my list of best nootropics of 2018 is pine bark extract. Pine bark extract, also known as pycnogenol, is one of the best nootropics around, but it's relatively unknown to the nootropic community. It's a naturally derived, standardized extract of French maritime pine bark. Pine bark extract helps prevent decreases in dopamine, norepinephrine, and the glutathione GSSGR ratio, neurotransmitter problems which contribute to hyperactivity in ADHD. Pine bark extract also helps boost blood flow to and within your brain by increasing nitric oxide, which helps dilate blood vessels, and helping repair and maintain the health of the lining of blood vessels, which is crucial to overall brain health, maintaining signaling pathways and leading to improved learning and memory. And pine bark extract prevents accumulation of oxidatively damaged proteins and may reduce the risk of diseases like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and Huntington's. Recommended dosage of pine bark extract containing 95% proanthocyanidins is up to 100 milligrams 3 times a day. And 10th on my list for best nootropics of 2018 is rhodiola rosea. In Russia, rhodiola rosea is widely used as a remedy for fatigue, poor concentration, and decreased memory. And it's also believed to make workers more productive. Now, this adaptogen helps reduce fatigue and reduce stress and fatigue. It increases energy, alertness, and stamina while boosting mental performance under periods of chronic stress. Research shows that rhodiola rosea can increase attention to detail-oriented tasks by improving concentration over a prolonged period, making it one of the top nootropics for studying. Rhodiola rosea boosts mood by influencing serotonin and norepinephrine levels in your brain, and the feel-good opioids like beta endorphins. It also helps in neurogenesis by repairing and growing new neurons, as well as activating the synthesis and resynthesis of ATP, your body and brain cells' main energy source. One more reason to add rhodiola to your nootropic stack: it helps reduce the inflammatory C-reactive protein. And salidroside, one of the many components of this incredible herb, protects neurons from oxidative stress-induced cell death. 11th on my list for best nootropics of 2018 is salbutamine. Salbutamine is one of the favorite nootropics in my stack. It's a synthetic derivative of vitamin B1 or thiamine. Its two thiamine molecules join together to help thiamine more easily cross the blood-brain barrier. Salbutamine is directly involved in the citric acid cycle that provides adenosine triphosphate or ATP energy for your mitochondria. And it has been shown to improve glutamate, choline, dopamine neurological transmissions, and it may also increase the density of D1 dopamine receptors. Salbutamine also contributes to the production of the enzyme PDH, which is essential in making the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. I love this nootropic because it boosts cognition, memory, decision-making, it improves athletic performance, it reduces chronic fatigue and erectile dysfunction, and is one of the best antidepressants I've ever used. 12th on my best nootropics for 2018 is L-theanine. L-theanine is an amino acid which naturally occurs in green and oolong tea. Many consider L-theanine their favorite nootropic stack when it's combined with caffeine for the synergistic effect, which lowers blood pressure, rejuvenates and relaxes, it boosts thinking ability, it improves focus, and it changes your mood. This amazing amino acid boosts alpha brain waves, promoting alert relaxation. It increases GABA, serotonin, and dopamine levels in your brain, producing an energizing and calming effect, and improving cognition and memory. It is an antagonist of NMDA receptors and can inhibit synaptic release of glutamate, protecting your brain from overstimulation caused by glutamate and possible glutamate toxicity. And L-theanine boosts brain-derived nootropic factor, or BDNF, and nerve growth factor. Now, most neurohackers report a calming effect within 30 to 45 minutes of taking L-theanine. Cognition gets a boost and energy levels rise without the jitteriness caused by stimulants like caffeine. Some report L-theanine has stopped their anxiety and panic attacks, but just don't combine it with anti-anxiety meds like Xanax. 13th on my list for best nootropics 2018 is vinpocetine. Vinpocetine is often found in some of the premium nootropic stacks. The semi-synthetic derivative of the lesser periwinkle plant is known for increasing cerebral circulation, taming inflammation and oxidative stress, boosting alertness, cognition, concentration, memory, and mood. Vinpocetine inhibits the enzyme PDE1, which boosts cerebral blood flow. It blocks the accumulation of sodium in neurons, reducing the toxic effects of oxidative stress, scavenges free radicals, and protects neurons from glutamate and NMDA toxicity. And by inhibiting PDE1, vinpocetine increases cAMP and cGMP, boosting neuroplasticity, which enhances cognition and memory. And 14th and the last on my best nootropics for 2018 is a vitamin B complex. I have learned in my experience with nootropics over the last 10 years and fixing my own brain that the B vitamins should be part of every single nootropic stack, bar none. And this is the reason why. The B vitamins include vitamin B1 or thiamine, which is needed to produce ATP for mitochondria. Vitamin B3 or niacin is used in the synthesis of acetylcholine. Vitamin B5 or pantothenic acid is needed to synthesize acetylcholine. Vitamin B6 or P5P is required for the synthesis of dopamine, epinephrine, GABA, melatonin, norepinephrine, and serotonin. Now, vitamin B8 or inositol regulates cell volume and signaling pathways in brain cells, DNA repair, long-term potentiation. It's a component of cell membranes. It regulates cellular metabolism and cellular energy consumption. Vitamin B9 or folate is involved in DNA and RNA synthesis, gene expression, amino acid synthesis, myelin synthesis and repair, and is required for the synthesis of dopamine, epinephrine, and serotonin. And vitamin B12 or methylcobalamin is required for the synthesis of the neurotransmitters dopamine, GABA, norepinephrine, and serotonin. And I can assure you this, you will not realize the full benefit of a nootropic stack containing CDP-choline, acetyl L-carnitine or L-car, or any of the racetams, or any nootropic for that matter, without adding a good quality B vitamin complex to your stack. This might possibly be the most important and least expensive addition to your stack this year if it's not already there. Now, some nootropic supplement labels recommend taking it with a meal. The implication behind this recommendation is that the nootropic is fat soluble and requires some fat for proper absorption to increase bioavailability. Now, each of the nootropics that I've talked about earlier in this video, I've got links in the main article through for a full review, which includes information about their solubility, whether it's fat or water soluble. Now, to be on the safe side, I take 1 tablespoon of organic coconut oil or unrefined coconut oil with my nootropic stack every time I take it. The healthy oil provides the fat that I need for better bioavailability, and I don't have to worry about taking my stack with a meal. So using coconut oil with my stack does not interfere with the water-soluble supplements either. So it's really a win-win. Now, I've tried a lot of different nootropic stacks in the last 10 years, but in late 2015, I finally found one high-quality pre-made nootropic stack that covered all of the bases that I was looking for in a nootropic stack. And that stack, like I mentioned earlier, is MindLab Pro. I've used MindLab Pro as the base for my personal nootropic stack all the way through 2016 and 2017, and I continue to use it in my stack in 2018. It's that good. In fact, in 2017, OptiNutra, the company that makes MindLab Pro, upgraded their formula. And their B vitamins now include vitamin B9 or folate, which is critically important. It's a critically important addition for a whole host of brain optimization reasons. And the company is now using their own proprietary biogenesis method for making the B vitamins in the MindLab Pro stack. And OptiNutra changed out vinpocetine for pine bark extract to boost cerebral blood flow. I think using pine bark extract is a wise move on their part because vinpocetine is considered a prescription drug in some countries, preventing them from shipping MindLab Pro to those countries. And the same thing might happen actually in the USA with vinpocetine in the not too distant future. But I've found over the years of using nootropics that vinpocetine is an amazing nootropic for boosting blood flow. And I continue to use 10 milligrams of vinpocetine 3 times a day for as long as I'm able to get it here in the USA. So if you're feeling frustrated finding the ideal stack, my hope is that this video provides some pointers that you need to create your optimal nootropic stack for 2018. My attitude on brain optimization is that good enough isn't nearly good enough until I'm performing at my best in all areas of life. And the right combination of nootropics and the right amounts have helped me to get to the point where I feel I'm performing better than ever. Literally. Now, near the beginning of this video, I identified the main points that lead to cognitive improvement, cognition, decision-making, focus, thinking, memory, anxiety, depression, energy, motivation, brain repair, and maintenance. What I love about the nootropics outline that I outlined in this video is that it covers